What's up, guys? We're back with another G.I. Joe Classified Series review, taking a look at easily one of the hottest figures in the entire line for a number of reasons, some good, some bad. We're taking a look at the COBRA B.A.T. Of course, you know, this guy is a army builder, so that's a huge thing right there. He is a mainline release, which is, you know, pretty fantastic, just after the Cobra Trooper Viper fiasco for a while. And then he also somehow randomly, magically appeared online at Walmart 6 months before he was ever supposed to come out, and now he's shipping from various other places before the end of the year, when he was originally slated to be like middle of 2022. So who knows what's going on with those pre-order dates, how he came out so early. But I finally got my hands on one, and I'm very, very excited. Well, I got my hands on two, and I'm very excited to take a look at these guys, because I've just been sort of drooling over the pictures that folks have been posting for the past 6 weeks or so. So we've got him here, of course, standard Classified Series packaging, but this guy is sporting some fantastic artwork. This might be my favorite box art so far. So you've got him there in the window. We've got, again, some stellar artwork that starts there on the front of like a battle-damaged bat, with another larger shot of the battle damage, kind of like exploded view almost on the spine, and then the back of the box gives us that huge print that we've seen for a while now, with a whole smattering of Joe characters. And then to top this guy off, he is number 33 in the line. So let's do it. Let's pull him out and take a look. And here we go, out of the package, our COBRA B.A.T figure, the Battle Android Trooper. Very much a normal G.I. Joe Classified figure, which is, of course, to say that it's very well articulated, and honestly, this thing is just a lot of fun. So I'm very happy to finally have a couple of these guys as I begin to build what is probably going to be a stupid amount of them, I have a feeling. Just based on all the other army building I've done with Classified, this guy is going to be up there. So let's see what he can do, see how he moves around. Again, it's kind of a normal figure. That's not a negative. I mean, the Classified series is easily, you know, a benchmark for Hasbro articulation right now. So this guy is very much more of the same. So you've got a head that can look up. Of course, the neck is independently articulated as well. He can look down really good, tilt side to side, rotates all the way around, all that good stuff. Arms out at the shoulder. There is a butterfly joint in there. And then, of course, you've got your rotation. We've got a bicep swivel. He's a robot, so he has, he's got the crazy, like, Major Blood style articulation for the elbows for his, like, robo arm that he has. So both arms like this have, I mean, very, very nice articulation at the elbows. That's as far as it's ever going to go anywhere. We've got hinges, rotation at the wrist. You've got your ab crunch, so he goes backwards, forwards, but then, of course, you've got your ball waist, so he tilts side to side. And then he also goes even further backwards and forwards. And then, of course, that's also your rotation point. Legs go out pretty much all the way. This one, of course, is a little bit impeded because of the holster. You do get your drop-down hips, though, which, of course, definitely help with the splits there. They kick forward pretty much all the way. They kick backwards slightly. You do have a thigh twist up there. We've got double jointed knees, and mine are kind of stiff, you know, as you can see. They are definitely fighting me. There we go. Hasn't really been a problem, but of course, you know, got to mention it. So you've got your double jointed knees. We've got a boot cut, very nicely hidden. And then you've got your rocker, and we've got hinges at the ankles. So his ankles, like, they go backwards, literally as far as possible. They kick forwards only slightly, but if you rock them first and then actually push them up, they'll go up over the lip of the boot, and they'll go like one click higher. So you do have pretty good range all over the place when it comes to this guy, pretty much everywhere. I wouldn't say there's anything on him that is really limited in any way. If anything, he is more articulated than most, especially because of what he's capable of doing at those elbows. So very, very nice start to this figure. Now, aesthetically, the Bat is more of the same, in a good way. It's a very nice looking figure, and it's another instance where, like, it's pretty much as good as it's going to get in this line. Like, I really think they kind of went all out on this one because of just how much of a fan favorite this is. And I'm a huge fan of this design. You know, I've said it a million times when it comes to Joe reviews. I'm not the biggest G.I. Joe collector. I never have been, but I love the show, and I read a ton of the comics, and the Bat has always been just a cool design. It's a cool idea as far as, this kind of trooper, an android trooper. I do really like it, and he has a really cool design because of the chest apparatus. We don't get the translucent chest on this figure, unfortunately, but I think for the most part, he's really nicely done. The suit has a great deal of texture all over it. You still get the exposed, or the possibility of exposing the chest plate, and we'll talk more about that. And there's like sort of a metallic-y green-blue inside there with all of the components painted in yellow and red. He's got the floating belt piece with your holster for your gun. We've got, whatever this is supposed to be, some sort of cybernetic pouch over here on the side. The Terminator-style arms do look fantastic. Ton of detail sculpted in there, lots of little mechano bits and bobs, whatever they're supposed to be, to just make him stand out, and it does make him look very different and unique. What paint he does have on him, for the most part, is pretty cleanly applied. There's not a ton, there's not a ton. There's a decent amount, but there's not a ton. He's got some like silver on the back. You've got the yellow. The chest plate, of course, is painted, but like stuff on the arms, for the most part, this isn't painted. But it's got a nice, it's kind of that swirly metallic plastic that they use, so it makes it look like it's a bit of a different finish. And then you've got some silver highlights on the boots down here just to make them pop a little bit. So he doesn't have tons and tons and tons of paint, but he has all the detail that he needs. I think a lot of that comes in from the fact that the suit, the actual fabric on the suit, is textured, catches the light, so it looks really good in comparison to it being a very flat piece of plastic. So all that texture really does help this guy. And then of course he is topped off by just a stellar head sculpt, or helmet sculpt, whatever you want to call it, because it's a robot head under there. But I think it looks great. It's a very simple design, but it's also very nicely done. So there's a lot of sleekness and kind of a streamlined design. All those lines that go back down the fin of the head. You've got the sort of T-shaped mask that he has with that metallic silver with the little fins for like the vents on the side, and then more of those on the other sides and the back panel there. So there's a lot of cool little detail on the helmet. It's not overly designed, but it has just enough sort of personality and flair, and it's one of the well, at least for me, one of the defining characteristics of this thing, because it just looks really cool. I mean, that's ultimately what it comes down to. It's a cool looking head sculpt to top off a very cool looking figure. And then as far as accessories goes, pretty much par for the course when it comes to this line. The Bat has a ton of stuff. And one of the key things that I find works really well in this particular line is that a lot of figures, I've said this a number of times, have a really nice weapon storage potential. He can't hold everything on his person at any time, but he's able to get almost all of it. So the first thing we've got here is our alternate head sculpt, and this is of course our battle damaged version. So the mask is just shattered, so you can see like the eye underneath there, and then all the armor plating along the side is gone. You've got the cracked visor on the front, and it's just an awesome looking head sculpt. I mean, it very much plays into the idea that this guy is of course a robot, and it works really nicely in conjunction with the exposed torso piece as well, because it does have a few other little options too. So this is how he comes in the box, with the torso exposed and open. You do have some plates for it too. So you've got a clean one, so factory fresh. You've also got a battle damage one too. So you got this one here, and you can see a little bit of the cybernetic sort of peeking through in there, little bits and bobs, and there's a big old dent in the front. And then of course you can take it off, and he's fully exposed now. So you've got three options when it comes to that chest plate, and then you've got two options for the head. We do of course have his sidearm here, so he's got his gun, and this is just standard little sort of techno pistol. Nothing too crazy. It's just sort of a flat gray plastic, slightly metallic-y, not as swirly as the arms, but it's pretty close. The holster for mine was super, super tight. I actually had to pry it apart to get it in there. It could have been the fact that it was so cold when it actually arrived, so your mileage may vary on that. And then he does come with the backpack. So this, of course, is a hallmark of the Bat, because he has different attachments. So you've got the backpack here with the two compartments on the back, and then this one over here that hangs off the side where you can put his extra hand attachments. So of course, you've got hands on him in the box, and then you can pop these guys out to swap. And they are kind of a tight fit in there. I'm just going to pull them out and do it this way. So we've got three, and you can mix and match however you want. So we'll put the backpack back on him, and we'll pop a hand off just to show you. So here is like the flamethrower attachment. So he's got a flamethrower hand, which is pretty awesome. He's got, you know, just sort of the machine gun, ray gun, or, you know, laser gun hand, whatever you want to call this one. And then he's also got the claw, which of course is just menacing and evil and fantastic. So he's got a lot of options. Like, that's the name of the game when it comes to this figure. Not only do you have options when it comes to just weaponry in general, but you can change up the entire look of the figure. Battle damage, clean, you know, have the hands on him and all the attachments on the back, take the hands off and put the weapons on the hands, etc. There's a lot of stuff you can do to make him look as uniform as you want across your army, or you can have them all mix and matched if you've got a big battle going. So there is a lot of potential with this guy, a ton of stuff you can do with, well, with a pretty solid array of accessories. So, I mean, yeah, obviously, this is a solid figure. Definitely one of my favorite G.I. Joe classified figures, easily, throughout the entire line. Easily one of my favorites at this point. There's a lot to like about this one. You know, everything I loved about how we were able to army build the Cobra Trooper and the Viper, despite how hard those were to begin with. They became very simple. This guy starts out that way. He's kind of weird to get currently, but he's a regular figure, and he's easily one of the coolest trooper designs, period, when it comes to Joes. So he's going to be one you're going to want more than one of, and it turns out he's also a fantastic figure that moves exceptionally well, that looks awesome, and has a ton of accessories that completely changes up how you can use and play with and display this guy. So options is the name of the game when it comes to the Bat, and he excels pretty much across the board. So that's going to do it for this look at the G.I. Joe Classified Series COBRA B.A.T. Let me know what you guys think. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and share, and until next time.